How do we practice rotation? Rotation is a hugely important part of a pianist's technique, but sometimes it can feel a bit abstract.
The leg rotates in both directions. The arm rotates in both directions. Every finger rotates in both directions. The head rotates in both. None of that has to do with rotation.
Of course, you should always be thinking about rotation when you're working on your pieces, but it can also be helpful to have a set of exercises for it at your fingertips to help you work on it in a really specific way. That's where Penelope Roskell comes in. An expert piano pedagogue, today Roskell is going to guide us through a structured and straightforward set of exercises that you can use right now to help you get in touch with your rotation.
The rotation feels like something that releases tension rather than increases tension.
Exercises like this helped me so much when I was recovering from an injury a couple of years ago and when I needed to slowly rebuild my piano technique back up. But no matter what situation you might be in and whatever piano level you might be at, they are super helpful. Remember that this lesson is just one part of Penelope Roskell's excellent library of teaching on tonebase, where she discusses a wide range of fundamental technique tips.
The exercises I'm going to show you are suitable for all pianists.
And of course, she is just one of dozens of excellent pianists featured on Tonebase Premium. Be sure to check the link in the description below to get started with a 14-day free trial. Also, if you're curious to find out more about rotation and why it's important, be sure to check out our video from a few months ago, which gives plenty of background on the topic as well as some more super helpful exercises. And be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave us a comment below about what piano topics you'd like to hear more about. So, without further ado, let's get started.
We're going to start with the pastry dough. If you've ever made pastry or bread or watched somebody cooking with dough, you'll know that the dough feels very loose, very floppy. It doesn't feel like something that's got a hard bone in it. And we want to feel as though our arm is as soft and as floppy as pastry dough. So I'm going to start with a little exercise that I'm going to use my book for. And you can use a book on your lap, or a cushion, or you can do it on your desk, whatever feels easiest for you. And all we do at first is just roll our hands on the book and make them as floppy as you can. So feel that the forearm is as loose as it can be, that the elbow is also very loose and floppy. And also, if you look, even my upper arm is responding a little bit to the movement. I'm not holding the upper arm stiff and then trying to move just the forearm. That's actually quite difficult to do. It's much easier just to let the upper arm engage with the movement. Now we're just going to add in a tap from the thumb. Just one tap, and then come back. And then do two. And rest whenever you need to. Then three. So you shouldn't get tired at all doing this. So you really feel you're getting back to the feeling of floppy dough in your arms each time you come back to rest. Now we're going to come up on the fifth finger, and then we're going to rest again. And you can do it in your own time, however you want to do it. As many or as few as you want and as fast. I actually find it's easier to get a good rotation going if it's a little bit faster. I think if you teach it really slowly, it actually makes the movement more laborious. Now we're going to try that just on a flat surface. And again, we're just going to do a few tapping of the thumb. And then and so on. Then you can try it on the piano. And for this, because it's such a symmetrical process, we can do it with both hands. So I put the fifth finger of the left hand on C and the fifth finger of the right on G. And again, just start in our starting position, really floppy arms, and rest. And then just tap with the thumbs and come back. Feel that it's completely free and effortless movement. Now we're going to add in the fifth, so we're just going to come up a little bit. So into normal playing position. And then we just keep remembering to go floppy. Do as many or as few as you want. Just play around with it in that way. Now we're going to do an exercise where we extend out, go as far as you feel comfortable with. I'm going as far as the octave. People with smaller hands can go to the seventh. People with larger hands can go further. So we just start with doing a rotation on the 5 and 1 and get that going really comfortably. And then we'll extend to the 6th and then to the 7th. And if you find that one of those is causing your elbow or your arm to tense up, then come back and just stick with the 5th or the 6th or whatever feels really, really comfortable for you. So, and you can do the same in the left hand. Just start with the 5th and get that going really comfortably. And then extend out to the 6th. And then extend to the 7th. And then when you come to the octave, keep that elbow really soft. Now you can try adding in some different fingerings. So again, start with 5 and 1, and I would suggest that you do a few of those just to get the rotation comfortable and feeling easy. And then you can add in 4, 3, and so on. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it with me. Just going to work on changing the dynamics. So we'll start again at the 5th and just have a very light finger movement. 5, 1, 5, 1. So quite quiet. So experiment with that initially at the 5th, also with the left hand. You can change your dynamics, you can change your tempo. So you're preparing for what you might do in a piece of music. And then you can go back to this exercise and do it with a crescendo. And in the left hand. Now we're going to do an exercise for the Alberti bass. We're just going to focus on the left hand because we don't get so many Alberti bass figures in the right hand, obviously. So we're going to start with 5th finger and then 3rd finger. And get both of those rotations feeling really comfortable before you start to alternate 5-3. Okay, so I'll do it at a steady tempo and join me. And now you can invent some further exercises for any pieces that you're working on.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. Remember that this is one part of Penelope Roskell's fantastic library of teaching on Tonebase Premium. Tonebase Premium is the platform that makes videos like this possible. There is an incredible library of content there for pianists at all levels and all stages of their piano journey. I definitely recommend you checking it out by going to the link in the description below. Also, be sure to help us out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more super fun and informative piano content brought straight to you here on YouTube. Thanks for joining us and see you next time.